Hey my friends, new staking update. For this, as always, we're going to check my old video and see how much the token was worth at the current time and how much my staking value basically was at that time. So back then, my HE was at 39,800 and it was worth, let me check, pretty much $1,600. So now let's get into this week, and as you can see, the price has dramatically fallen once again. As you can see, the price pretty much went down quite a bit. It went up to pretty much 4.5 cents, and now it's pretty much going down and down and down with every day that's passing, and now we are pretty much at the 3 cent mark yet again. And that's why, of course, the value of the stake token went down dramatically as well. In case you're wondering why I got a couple more HE in here, that's because, first of all, I took HE out of my Heroes and Empires main account, where I get a lot of HE every single day for doing dungeons, for doing arena, and for at least the past couple of weeks for doing the dailies. Of course, right now that's not possible anymore, since you just get the clan coins. But of course, I bought bought gear as well, ultimate gear with my clan coins, and I sold like 2 gears, and that's what got me pretty much 2,000 or 3,000 HE token as well. So I got like 2 or 3,000 HE token from the game just by playing, and the others is HE that I already had. So that's where you can see the buy here. That's all the money I made, quote made, from selling my gear. Since I already have pretty good gear, and I thought, why not sell some of it, since I'm going to earn it from the game anyway, and I can buy a token with it, since I love the HE token itself. It's very low valued. It crashed down to pretty much 3 cents, but like for the past, I'd say maybe six weeks. Yeah, it's more like 4 weeks actually. 4 weeks. It has been pretty stable around the 3 to 6 cent mark. I mean, that's of course not quite stable per se, but if you compare it to the longer chart, it's a lot more stable than it used to be when it was crashing down from 24 cents to 3 cents in the matter of just a few weeks, basically. So that's like a situation where we can say, okay, we are kind of seeing a point where we are stabilizing to a degree. So that's of course why I personally prefer to at least get a little bit of token. It's not much actually. Here you can see it's like $50. Here it's like $100. What's this? There was $800. It was a bigger purchase 4 weeks ago, which is coming close again, since in like a week or so I'll have my basically I set myself an allowance in terms of crypto, which I use every single month. It's just a couple $100, and of course the earnings that I get from other games. So that's a bit that I can use on the game, for like HE for example. And of course, I use my token to stake. So what we're going to do is, first of all, we are going to restake. The restake. So we're getting this done. Pretty nice that we pretty much get like 400 token per week. It used to be a little bit more, but the daily rewards have been decreasing a bit. They set them a bit lower for February, so that's why it's little bit less than before. But of course, by restaking every single week, it's pretty much growing quite naturally. I mean, if we just compare this to like
Hey, my friends.
a couple of weeks ago, let me just check. Let's go. Let's see. Okay, I only had very few staked back then. Let me see. Yeah, so back then I know I haven't been purchasing any, or at least not staking anymore other than these I got here. So just pretty much 4 weeks, pretty much, no, 3 weeks, actually 3 weeks back, I just had 38,000, and now we're already at above 40,000, so we are getting closer to the for the lovely 50,000 HE mark, which I want to reach pretty soon. I mean, if I count this in, we are already far above the 45,000 HE mark, but I want to get even higher, since I really want to get some token for myself. And yeah, I just like the coin itself. So the circulating supply is at pretty much 150 HE, 150 million HE. The max supply is 1 billion. So there's already about 14.7% of the token supply in circulation, which is fair. Could be more by now, but I think the team doesn't want to necessarily increase it too far, since the player base right now is stagnating, if not just even lowering, since let me see if I can find it real quick so I can show you guys, since they're pretty fair with the weekly updates. Yeah, in here. So as you can see, let's interpret this this screen. Basically, I'm just assuming that they are doing this honestly. I think at least in terms of some of these measures, we can pretty much control them. And I think they do that quite fairly, otherwise they wouldn't show these numbers so openly. So the number of total users increased by 0.78%, and you can pretty much ignore that number, since this number, as far as I know, just counts all the accounts that have ever been created. And as you guys know, this number can only increase, right? Like, if I delete my, if I like let my account go to waste by selling all my heroes, then it's not counted as deleted, as far as I know. And even if it's banned, it should still be in that equation, as far as I know. So I'm personally ignoring this number. What I find a bit more interesting is the total HE token holders, since, as you guys know, if you want to play the game, you need some HE token, and if you have it in the game, then it's not counted to this measure. But I think every one of you has at least a few HE token in their wallet, at least all the people that I know that play this game actively. So I think this is a more accurate number of measuring the actual amount of active users, since if there are like people with multi accounts, they may have like one main account where they gather all their tokens and the other wallets don't have any tokens. So I think this is more accurate if you really want to see how many active players there are. Since if you're inactive, you don't like the game anymore, you want to quit, then you will just sell all your HE token, right? So I think that's a bit more accurate. So you can see it has been decreasing a little bit by 2.5%, which is fair, which is fine. Totally good if there are some people quitting and cashing out, basically, which is totally good. Of course, the issued hero NFTs didn't rise, as the feature was blocked before. And let me see, the total staked HE increased as well. Burned HE2, and of course the available hero NFTs were slower as well, as you couldn't create anymore. I'm just seeing that this is like end of January and start of February, and I'm wondering where the current one is, since there should be a new one, right? Can't see it in the announcement. I'm not sure if they're that open with it. Okay, that's interesting. Let me see. No, I can't seem to see it. It's not in the game updates. HE token maybe? No. FAQ? No, this can't be either. Maybe it's on their Twitter posts? Yes, okay, fine. Perfect. Okay, so these are the current numbers. Of course, as you can see, right? Like you just see that's exactly what I've been telling you is the same. It's the same truth for this picture as well. The total numbers pretty much can only rise, so this is always going to be a bit up. So this is a much greater value for measuring how many people are actually playing the game, actively playing the game, and it's going to decrease for sure for the next couple of weeks as long as the mobile game isn't out yet, because it's there are not really people coming into the game, just people that are already in the game that have like friends, since the game isn't marketed for the huge play to earn community, like for all the Philippines and even some from other countries that like to play to earn games are usually not really into this game right now because there's no mobile version. Like this game is like a perfect game to play on the phone, right? Like you can start your missions, start your campaign, start your madness tower, do your arena fights, etc. Right? Like when you're on the toilet, when you're at work, kind of bored for like a minute, you can just open, play it, etc., etc. Right? But since this is not available yet, the number of players can only or can pretty much only decrease as um there's not that much value to it right now. The game is valued quite low right now, as you can see from the token, but also from the NFT value. So there's not much holding the people, but at the same time, it's quite the effort to really do all your dailies every single day, like doing the dungeon and the arena, and of course starting all these missions. It's quite tedious, so to really finish all this, it's going to take a bit. It's not just done in like a minute. So of course, there are going to be people who are like, ah, okay, I'm fine. I made a loss. I'm out. But it's actually a good sign to see some clearance in players as well, as it's always good to leave some dust, I guess, like to like re composition at some point, get some proper updates, and then once you're like with a strong player base that's really hyped for the game, then that's pretty much the moment where the game can truly take off, right? So that's a good sign. These numbers are pretty cool as well, but not quite interesting here. So that's what really matters to me personally, seeing that there are quite a few less users right now than there were before. And of course, um, it's important to have this number in mind when the app is coming out, since then I will be really looking at this number. And right now, it's not that important, right? But like at the point where there are many players entering the market, I can watch this number to keep track of the actual active player amount, since this is really a good measure on seeing how much players there really are. Um, if you are not interested in the game, you sell your token, but you won't just necessarily quit your account or delete your account, right? So you may just sell all your heroes, your account gets banned, whatever. But I think it's still in the statistics, so that's what's important, and that's also what's putting some sell pressure on the token, of course, as well. But it shows that the token itself is a bit more healthy right now, as there must have been like 8 to 10% of players quitting, who must have accumulated quite the amount of token, and of course sold it all. But we pretty much, despite losing like 8 to 10% maybe of players, the token price is pretty much the same as we were a couple weeks back. So it means that those who remained in the game pretty much have the same, if not more, trust in the game, and those that quit for good. That's pretty much what I am seeing right now. And of course, once we are at a stable position where all the people really are who are interested in the game stay in the game, that's where we can really take off into a new direction and open a new chapter, basically. Anyway, I don't want this video to be too long for you guys. Pretty nice to have a bit a longer video for now, finally, since we usually just quit it after a few minutes, at least the past videos. The first ones were a bit longer. I hope you still enjoy this kind of video. I bring this update every Tuesday, where I show you just my current staking amount, and probably next week, let me see, we are going to, yeah, maybe a bit earlier, Monday or Tuesday, we'll see. I'm going to buy a few more token. At least that's the current plan. I don't know how much right now. Maybe I get like a couple of thousand, maybe I get a couple of 10,000. Don't quite know. It's probably going to be in the 5 to 20,000 token range of the ones how much I'm going to buy. Long term, it would be cool to have like a total of 100,000 token. That would be really nice. I mean, just having that high amount is just nice to have. But I don't quite know if we will get there at some point. But of course, due to the staking rewards, we're going to reach a substantial amount at some point, right? There's not too much giving out in the staking rewards. As you can see, circulating supplies 150 million, daily rewards is just 26,000. If you 667 times 28, since we got 28 days, this, I mean, that's just 750,000. If you divide this by the amount of circulating token, 147, then we get like 0.5% per month, and that's almost nothing. So that's a very low amount, which is very sustainable for the game, for the tokenomics and stuff. So I personally think, usually I'm like, okay, decrease daily rewards, it's too high. But for this game, I can even say, okay, it could be increased, and there wouldn't be too much of a negative impact on the game itself. But it's pretty good as it is right now. 52% APR is fine. We don't need a couple of thousands percent. It's just just going to ruin the in-game economy. You want to play the game, not just stake token. But overall, I'm happy with how the game is developing. The updates are well meant, and they have quite the amount of content, but of course they can be adjusted to a certain degree, since sometimes they feel a bit flawed, like for example with the daily quest change, where basically it was promised that we can rush the game without having any problems, but in the end there isn't too much of a big change, as we still need either campaign and Madness Tower Battle, or summoning or ascending to complete the daily rewards. So one of these three things is necessary, and we can't do it yet just by doing whatever we can do, even if we are stuck. So that's something to keep in mind. Of course, it's not that important to finish all the dailies every single day, but of course, it's a nice feeling to just get it done and have this accomplishment of finishing all the quests basically for the day, right? So that's what we all want, and that would be cool to like get maybe next, or update, or the update afterwards. Anyway, that's it for the video for real now. If you have any things you would like to discuss, make sure to discuss in the comments. I pretty much answer to like 90 to 95% of all the comments. I try to read all of them. Sometimes I don't, sometimes I just don't get the time. Right now there must be like 8 comments that I didn't read just yet. But if I find the time, I'm going to do that, and I'm going to try to answer to all of them. So make sure to comment and discuss in the comments, as we always do, since there are many knowledgeable players in this community that may help you other than me. But if I can help you, then I'm going to be of help, of course. Anyway, that's it for the video. Goodbye, guys.